All right, welcome to the recap here for Tuesday, and we're going to take a look at some of this price action and just kind of see how we played out and trade opportunity that we saw in the market. So we used the Kabroda battle box GPT to create the daily support and resistance and breakout zones for us, and then we used the fixed range volume profile again to create the last 4 hour and the 24 hours. So we have some key levels here to analyze as we work through price action. So you can see that we did kind of just play in the areas of the breakout here, this purple and green line. But what I want to point out is really analyzing the last 24 hours to help us kind of look at price. And you can see that back here we did have on the 5 minutes, that's what we're looking at right now, we did have the lower area and then the higher low, and it kind of broke out. And in the evening we started to run up, and you can see we went out to 15 minutes during this time frame. The reason why I want to point this out is it also helped set up the next levels here for you to know like what was going to happen for the day and what you need to watch out for. So after this first played out, we came out and slammed right into the 200, which kind of makes sense. There's some bigger information here we could have looked at, but basically that would have been a key level. Then it came back down through the evening, and we actually found a bottom here, but then traded up. And if you're looking for an easy, clear trade, this would have been the run up here on the 15 minute. Here's your back test right here. And you can see that the 30 crossed over the 50. We had the 21 continued to showing an uptrend right through here. More than likely, we continue on up and go through your 200, which would have been your full flag, and run out. So if you're taking action on this area right here, you can see the breakout. We did go all the way up to the 2. So that's the distance to here. You exceeded from this trend line that was on the pullback and let it pull on up, let it run on up. There's hit the target. So the target was hit in the morning. And that's kind of why I'm pointing that out, because this is their morning trading right after this white vertical line. We kind of opened up and things started to trade up, but ideally you're getting the last of the move. So if you wanted to jump into this, this would have been not the best trade time to get in, just because the market had already ran through all the early morning hours. And the last of the trade was right here, and it created this high right here. And everything was exhausted, or kind of showing that it was going to roll back over. And you can see it pulled back in, and here's your early morning, and it ran up. You got a nice volume spike, if you will, and it just spiked, ran up. From there, we started to drop back down, and then we came back and back tested this area, so then you have this strong one here. And it's because this is your first higher high that's traded, then you create a higher high, so now it did this. But then the next run up was a lower high, so that was a pretty strong potential for this to go down. You're looking for this to kind of find a key level of support and resistance for us to be able to take advantage of price action. So if you go down into the 5 minute, you can see right through here, up in the morning, you can see it's come back, and you could have taken advantage of this trade here. The hard part is that you're still above the 200, and that trade really you would want to trade it down to the 200, because when you're above the 200, especially on a 5 minute, it's kind of for the lower time frames that we're talking about, the 15 minute lower. The 200 you'll find is a pretty strong indicator for kind of bullish or bearish. When you're above it, even though we're in a pullback, you got to be careful, because you kind of saw it happen just here today. We ran down. If you jumped into the trade, this would have been the call right through here on the 21. You would have used this upper area as your stop and then trade this out. If you kind of expected this to go down and catch key levels, you want to be careful because of this. It's got to show it's going to show push on down energy. But if you look at your lower time frames and your switches, you can see they're all so you even down through here, we were starting to show exhaustion as we were breaking this, and you also saw the RSI or the MACD start to kind of roll out. The RSI was exhausted, and you were down here on your stoaches. So it was already showing you that this 200 didn't have a lot of strength to push it on down, and really we were looking for this to turn. That's why I kind of marked this area, and then right here is the support area. So if we were looking at taking a position in the market, this is roughly what you'd be looking for. And letting this run on up. If you went to your standard 3 to 1. This obviously took that out for you. Nice move. Set up and cleaned and ran up. And now we're just kind of building this bigger flag, if you will. Looks like we could go on to a longer time frame. And that would have been about it for the day. That would have been the trade that you're looking for. And like I said, this was kind of the continuation. Now this bigger pattern really is in play until you go to your longer time frames. You can see it. And your 1 hour is what we wanted to see is throughout the night into the morning, you did see this 21 just scoop right onto the 200, just kind of kissed it, if you will, and roll over and start to say output. So if this was pulling back like we saw in the morning, we should have saw the here that this could continue to push up. And that's kind of what I was looking out for, was a longer time frame, looking for small time frames. So when that 5 minute setup was pretty exciting. The 4 hour, I know I heard people worried about the 4 hour rolling over, and the biggest problem that I see is a lot of times the conversation that people were talking about was right in here in this 4 hour candle, which was from 7 to 11, right in that range, and then we opened up and we had this next candle. Well, you can see at this point we were starting to roll back over. We showed a little bit of red in here, and people started to worry that this was going to roll over. The hard thing is everything else was already pushing up and consolidating. So ideally, this is really looking for it to kind of come up and test up in this area, break on out and kind of test this area based on the 4 hour. It's still kind of pushing, and we could run on up and test this upper area right through here, which would give you a mark around 109,741. So kind of look at that and really keep that in consideration as we're looking at this price action. And at that point, we could still create a lower drawdown here. I mean, that's still in the cards, and I'm pulling this out because I kind of want to let you see that we did have this lower area right here. Now we could have had this as the support area, but this 200 right here, I'm still want to watch this because this could come up and kind of double top or go up and just hit this key level, but it could come back down and still get back down in this 200 range. I'm kind of curious in watching that. If it did, to me, it would kind of create this area right through here, and this would be maybe take out somewhere in this range up in there and then come down and go out, which would create a really nice setup, if you will, in this area. And it'd be nice if we could create some divergence. So if you had this area coming up through here, and in the same area here, this RSI would go on down into this range and break down. That'd be nice bullish divergence on the 4 hour. That would be a really good setup for us for future growth. So that is something on the cards, and that's just something I'm watching. Like I said, right now it is definitely more of a bullish. Let's see how this kind of runs out. This has kind of been neutral soft through this MACD for a while, all the way back into June 26th. We've been kind of floating along through here. We have seen some price action, some energy, but overall we've just kind of been floating along. So let's continue to just watch price and look for these bigger time frames to set up a bigger pattern for us to take advantage. But until then, we'll keep taking advantage of these small little moves like I showed you today, and see where it takes us. So that is about it for the recap, analyzing the price action, looking for key levels, also using the daily market review and getting these key levels, and then again using ChatGPT to run the current price action through throughout the day and find key data. Tomorrow there will be a link to our Kabroda trading battle box GPT, and it will be on our live stream. So you'll probably actually see that before you watch this recap. Our recaps come out about 10 o'clock every morning, so just watch for those. But if you do want to get your hands on the new GPT that we've been working with and continuing to develop, which it will stay in development for a while probably, but it is a usable tool right now and can show you quite a bit of information and teach and be used as a pretty strong tool when it comes to understanding the markets. So go ahead and look for that and take advantage of it, start using it and playing with that and learning as much as you can so you can become the success that you want to be. So like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next recap. Talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.